they use it for a lot of things, a lot of different things. But mostly that herb, they use that stinkweed. They use a lot of that stuff. And there's another plant you get on a lake where it's dead water. They're about this big, and they float. They're floating up on top of the water. They come from the lake, and those are the strongest herb there is if you want to get with some really strong stuff.
This plant that comes up out of the lake, do you have a name for it?
No, they just call it just. They just say Ethnobotany. It means stinkweed.
Okay.
Howard, can you tell us more about your mother's mother? That you said she was a great medicine woman.
Mm-hmm.
How do you remember her?
I don't remember. I remember her just a little bit, but that's and not that much because Grandma used to be awful protector. Don't want you to do that. Keep your house clean. Have your door. Don't let your sleeping blanket take them out every day. You see, I take my blanket out every day. I don't sleep in that. That carries that thing. And you change your, gives you good luck, and you'll smell better. You go back in the same bed like that, you'll never be the same. You'll go the other way. You're not going to believe in us. And all those stuff she tells me, she told Mom to pass these on. I remember little of her. That's all.
How about traveling with your mother when she was doctoring people? You mentioned that you went with your mother sometime.
Yeah, well, there was a village. There was big. Nenana used to be a big village at one time, and they used to just send for her. They used to send for her. Wood River was another place, and they used to just send for her. There was people like that all over, but they didn't. They were afraid of themselves, But Mom didn't. Mom wasn't. She believed in herself, and she knew that she could do it, But a lot of people say they said they had one in mental one time, but she was afraid to do it. She didn't believe in herself. She's afraid that she's going to ruin that person,
What do you think gave your mother that type of strength?
Well, from Grandma. Grandma, that's Grandma and Grandpa is the one that gave her the strength to do that, because Grandma was a great medicine woman, only medicine woman there was. And they had another one, but that one down the river, that one there, they didn't talk about much, but they talk about my grandma mostly, that how strong she was. And she's the one that carried the message, and try to tell people, you got to continue doing this. And this is what Mom kept continue doing this, My mother used to go around with my auntie, go visit people. And my auntie and them was a lot younger than than Mom. So as soon as they come in the house down there, she tell my auntie and them, she says, don't sit around, sweep the floor, wash the dishes, wash his clothes. And Mom was the boss, so and that was the message, that way you'll be in good health. Because I always think of this, when I shot my finger off, and when I had my heart attack, and when I went through the river, I know that I did something once when I was young to help that one person, and he's the one that gave me the wisdom and gave me the power to say what I'm saying to you right now. Because when I went in the river down there, I never got scared or nothing. I just thought about my dad, how he got drowned. And you know how fast that current is going? It could have just took us right down there. But it seems like when the current come down to us, it just went around us like that. And it goes to show you that something is watching over me that I did something in my young days to help that old lady or that old man. Because when I was going to school from home, school, I didn't get much school. Anyway, I missed school for 2 days. I told Mom I want to come back, and she was happy. So what you learn? I said, lots. And so one day the teacher came down and told Mom, he said, what's the matter? Your son never showed up from school for 2 days. And she said, I don't know. She said, wait, I want to talk to him. She says. So she left and he went down and sat down and talked to me and told me this. He said, how come you lied to me? He said, our father ain't going to take you when you lie like that. He says, you got to sit down and tell me the truth right now, she says. So I told her, I said, I see some old lady, old man up there that used above the village there. They were cutting wood and they were really old. So I just went and I started helping them cutting wood. I said, and I pack water for them and I stay with them all day. And I know when it's time to come home, so I come home, I says. And I've been doing that last 2 days. So she just told me, thank you. He said, thank you. You did something right there. One of these days, she says, that them old people will give you the wisdom to do these things. That's what I'm telling you right now. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't tell you these things, And it's good that I carry these things. I remember all these things, But now it's like I get disgusted once in a while, when I talk to people, on the school or something like that. They're not paying attention, and it's just like going out there talking to a stump, Just like I say, when we make speech, a lot of people have to have their piece of paper and they have to read it. And I tell them, no, that's dishonest when you're doing that. When you're talking, you got to talk from your heart, and that way people will believe you.
What I hear you saying is that you received a blessing
Mm-hmm.
from those old people.
Old people, yeah. They they really prayed over me, and they really gave me the wisdom. They say, he's the one that's going to be listened, so let's protect him. What Mom told me. He said, you done right when you did that, he says. So those are the things I say, if they have people coming in and some old lady come in there and all young people sitting around down there, and the old lady got no place to sit down, nothing, just standing there. One of them young people come over and lead him over to the chair and make him sit down. That's giving his wisdom right there. You want to thank the Lord, for what he's done, Forgive him, because I know I was forgiven for a lot of things that I did, and I know I did a lot of things I shouldn't have did.
So the couple things I've heard is getting that wisdom from the older people because of your sharing with them, your work with them,
Mm-hmm.
And your mother reinforcing that.
Mm-hmm. She really pushed me forward. She told me that's the only way if you want to be saved, if you want to look for like good weather ahead, you'll always one step ahead of one. She said you're going to be doing good all your coming as you're growing older.
The other thing I heard you say earlier was that when your father died, you had to go out with the older people,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to get food.
Yeah.
And so you had to learn.
Yeah, I had to learn.
And so in a sense, they helped raise you.
Yeah, they helped me raise me as I was going, because I traveled all over like this fella, Jan just told me that they kind of missed me down there for that potlatch they had down there. And I learned one heck of a lot from that old fella down there in Haynes down there. Austin Hammond. I learned one heck of a lot. He told me a story about the flood that they had at one time, and he told me the story about when it was desert in Alaska. He told me all them stories. So you see, I've learned from a lot of different people, and I'm kind of happy I did in a way, you know. But a lot of ways, you know, like I tell people right now, you know, that I tell them, you back up now a little bit. I tell them, I says, when you're talking to me, I says, I want you to use some common sense. I says, don't lift up and try to be higher than the other. You want to stay down there. Like if I'm talking, I don't want to be right up there. I'm uncomfortable if I want to make speech to people. I want to be down there with these people because I'm up there. I'm uncomfortable because people are thinking, geez, he's way up there. Who in the hell do you think he is? That's what I think, you know, and that's what people say all the time, them days when they talk, you know. They want to be right there and right in the middle of the people and sit down and talk with the people. So these are the things that I strongly want to leave behind, you know. And I think in time to come, this thing is going to come in handy because this thing is not going to be forever. You know. It's happening right today, like our water running out and they're cutting all our timbers off and stuff like that. Now they're going to put that new line coming over by Bonneville. And I'm against that, you know. That's,
Yeah. It seems that you, in your life, that you've been blessed with luck.
yes, because I want to be around all my life. As I was growing up, I wanted to be around the older people all the time. I didn't go around with my kids, I mean the teenagers and stuff like that. I was alone all the time. I was going with the old people all the time. I was doing something for them all the time, and that's what blessed me, you know. I mean, that they gave me their power to do these things, because my mother told me before she passed away, one of these days that you're going to be doing some great things. You're going to be talking to bigger people, and you're going to be traveling, she says. And I told her, how do you know these things? I said, how do you know I'm going to travel? I got no money, I says. And she was right. And I did a lot of traveling in my life, and I didn't think I was going to be traveling these things and talking to bigger people, you know. But these things we have to carry on, you know. We have to carry on and keep pushing it. Otherwise we're going to lose everything. They're doing it now.
I do have one other question.
Mm-hmm.
When we had been talking on the plants to being used for medicine, who did most of the treating for wounds, injuries? Did men and women do it equally, or was it more of a woman thing to do?
Well, it was mostly women's. Mostly women did that. See, the men's in their share, but a lot of men did women's work too. So that way they share with one another, but mostly women did all these herbs and stuff, you know.
So it was mostly women who did it, but there were
Yeah,
some men.
yeah, some men. There were some men that did that because just like today, I hear a lot of people says That's woman's job. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be cooking. You shouldn't be washing dishes. And I says no. I says let's be equal, and divide, or let's pitch, work together, and that way things will come to us.
Okay. In a village or in an area where was there usually one person who used the plants and herbs, or was it each household?
Well, when they usually pick them where, like I say, you got to go where nobody been around, and when they're out hunting, they just pick them right there. They pick them there, and sometimes when there's a whole bunch, they mark it, they blaze it, and then they